4 pipes over there.
And we're on. How does it sound? How does it sound?
You.
Does it sound very good? Hello, hello.
Which one is it? The left or the right side?
Hello, hello, hello. That side. Listen. Hello, hello.
Yep.
Okay. That's good. That's all good. Looks good.
No, that's mine preheating. That's your favorite? That's crazy you feel that way.
It can be recycled glass or clear. It doesn't matter.
I got my favorite pipe.
Make sure they're not clogged.
Yeah, that would be horrible. Ah, my favorite pipe.
Oh, you know why
Clogged.
he said that? He said that because he tried it and it was clogged and he put it back.
You can assume that, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
I have all the greatest Christmas spirit.
I don't.
Just the
I don't
fact
wanna
that you
touch
said that
pipes with
proves
you,
that
dude.
you knew.
All right, everybody.
You're gonna cross my pipe too?
If no one's gathering, I'll gather.
Yeah.
We're all
gather it up.
gathering.
Hey, I'm coming through. I didn't take a gas. You guys go for it. My pipe is
Jeez, everyone's being pushy.
Doesn't need to be huge, everybody.
Nope, but you got to plan it.
I feel like that's coming from the guy who's gonna blow the biggest bubble.
Go, go, go. Everyone in a row.
You get a little pre-bubble starter in there, and then just keep it hot.
Why is he like Jumbo Man?
I don't know. It's a huge one.
Jeez, you guys.
What the?
What are you guys doing?
You guys know how far a big bubble goes?
I mean, I guess you can let
Got
it
a bunch
drip
of tank
too.
anchors over here.
I'm making mine just right. Are we popping out or what? What's going on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah, I got a great start on mine.
Yours looks great, dude.
All right, everyone, get in your lineup.
Get in the lineup. Let's do it.
Roll call.
Alright, I'm coming out.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, blow. I guess I should talk because they all have their mics in. So we've got 4 glass blowers blowing, 4 pipers piping. Look at that strength. You guys all kept it up in the air.
Don't break them. Oh!
Hey!
Holy son of a gun.
Hoppa!
I guess Oliver won.
I am the winner, and I'm gonna run away while I
He
can.
is the piper that pipes.
Ta-da!
Well done, everybody.
Merry
Incredible.
Very nice, very nice.
So we'll work
Welcome.
on this mess, folks, but happy holidays.
What show number is this?
247.
247. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're the Gathering Point. We're here to do a special, pre-recorded, unbelievable holiday show.
Yeah, this is going to be a ridiculous one. We pre-recorded it because the entire staff, except for maybe 1 or 2 people, depending on the scenario, had the day off after Christmas. We hope you guys are home with family, kicking it, having a relaxing, beautiful experience.
Playing with all your presents,
Yes,
eating
that's
all
right.
your food.
We're going to do something really special here, folks, hoping that you have family at home, that you're going to spread the feet around. This is going to be another big show here at the Glass Academy.
What?
Hey everybody, I didn't see you there.
We got a couple professional sweepers here.
Sweep us, sweep us.
And we're going to get the chalk busted out here now.
Yeah, so we're going to be making something nice and big for the holiday spirit, just like everybody's spirit's going to be nice and big, you guys. So we are excited that the new year is coming. There's a lot going on. Jake's got some
You
chalk.
drawing it or mine?
Why don't I do a little and you do a little?
All right.
Sounds good. I'll draw the root system maybe, and then you can kind of come in and put in some of the canopies.
Perfect.
We didn't even tell them what we're doing yet, but we're going to be making a giant Michigan pine.
Is that like a thing? Does every glass blower need to make the giant thing?
No.
No, we never make giant stuff, so we're doing it now. You guys are going to see it happen. It takes the team of 4, and we got Michelle on the camera, and we're going to draw it up. We're doing trees because we've been making a lot of them, and actually my blister here is out of control. It got bad, and then I popped it and oozed it out the other day.
No one wants to see that.
So I'm going to let Chris do all the cutting of the branches, and we're all going to tag team the multiple portions and parts of the rest of this giant tree. And the idea behind it is it's going to have a root system that extends out wider, so we don't make this whole giant tree and have to stick it onto a base. This is going to be one long, nice spire, thick spire, like a regular tree trunk that we normally make, and then we're going to come over with 2 or 3 larger brown bits that we're going to slap onto the side here and make the bottom portion of those roots come out really wide, so it's wide enough that it'll hold the height and the weight of this tree. We're going to make the canopy going all the way up, a bunch of different tiers. We're going to put a small nest in there with 2 or 3 little robin eggs out of blue. And then we're also going to put...
It looks like he's laying down on the floor.
Yoga. We're also going to put a jewel into this tree just to make it really kind of fantasy-like and from the forest and pretty hardcore. It's going to be cranberry.
Is this like 2 scale?
2 scale, Jesus.
Going,
If
you
it
want
was
in on
to
it?
You go ahead and
scale,
keep going. It's looking good.
It would be like 3 feet.
It said storage full, but that doesn't matter.
This is looking pretty good here, guys.
The idea, though.
Even if the storage is full.
That's right. So we got the you know, up here maybe is the nest bowl.
Eagle's nest.
An eagle's nest, which is going to have all kinds of foliage coming off of it and whatnot. And then 3 nice eggs
They're looking intently.
sticking right there.
Is one of those eggs gonna be like cracked open and having the baby eagle coming out of it?
Eating like some type of like Mississauga rattler.
Mississauga rattler.
Yeah, those are the rattlesnakes that live in Michigan.
Then what we're thinking here, which there's a little room for interpretation. Maybe this goes a little wider to one side is kind of what I was thinking, just for a little extra stability. I don't know.
And says from the lady who does a lot of the shipping, those extra limbs make it really hard to ship. So don't go too crazy making appendages.
I'd say the first priority of this piece is making a huge, ginormous, super intense, hardcore piece. Who knows if it's going to be shipped or not? But we will keep that in mind.
Yeah, and actually
as
Jake, I do have an extra refrigerator box that we could ship it in.
Ah, I see.
With the refrigerator box, let's do the whole root system too.
Yeah. When you get the root system that big, I kind of feel like it's something about it's some wetland, swampy type action. You know how
Yeah,
those
just like
trees
all the little-
get all the real low, big time.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep. You know, we're going to be needing this pipe cooler here today because we're going to be working some big glass.
So this is turning into a Michigan bayou pine.
That's right. Magical though.
Magical.
I think there might be a little dark crystal action going on. Jake's got the holiday time. He's got the dark crystal in his mind.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's got some type of magical jewel bursting out of the trunk.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's got to be cool. It's glassy, and we can do it, and why not? I think
I
it'd be
hear you.
super
What color are
tight.
you using for the jewel?
What we were talking about doing, if we've got it over there, we got cranberry and we got white. We'll do the white backer. I think will be awesome for multiple different reasons that I'll explain while we're making it happen.
And
But
this
the
is
grabbers
it, eh?
grab it perfect. That's it right there.
So this tiny little jewel is going to be nestled inside the
Are you
trunk
saying
of the
it's too
tree.
big?
Well, I mean, it's almost the size of it right there. So that's how big we got to make the tree.
Yeah.
I did have the idea that we're gonna put this jewel into the tree. If we came in with some extra bits of like our ground mix and put it around the edges of the jewel, it'll be like the tree
Filled
grew
in.
around the jewel and
Yep.
it's like trapping it in.
So an
We could do the
an
jewel.
earthly wood bezel.
Earthly wood bayou bezel.
Yeah.
Somebody put the jewel in there.
a long time ago.
The tree grew around it.
So where did it grow?
So then kind of
Let's do this first then.
brainstorming through the process, since we've never made one of these before, we should probably work through the process. And
Definitely.
are we thinking that we're going to want to pull a stem out on the blowpipe and then add all the bigger root systems to the bottom of it first and have all that on there, and then once all that's done, then we start adding each individual canopy on?
I wonder if maybe we do our first spire and then we add this percentage of in thickness of base so that there's not these super long extremities that could break and pop off going on a million reheats.
We
So
just
get
do like a brown base.
get the base going with multiple browns. You slap one on here, twist it, pull it, move it this way. And then we could even put this in here now and then put a couple more on there on top of it and get it in place and then have the whole tree and then do the whole canopy. Then the final move would be to add one more nice one here and two more nice ones here. And it would reheat the base for putting it away and whatnot, and then we could equalize all the temperature.
What about, I think that sounds good, just thinking in different things. What about if we did the whole bottom from like here down and then added that bit stem onto it hot and built it out after we finished the whole bottom so we could get all the detail we want on there and perfect it. It's going to be really tough to perfect some extra added roots on with the whole tree made and on the pipe, you know? So we think that transition point, I mean, we could always stick it on and then add a few more brownies onto it to make it blend into the main root system and then put the canopies on, you know? Like camouflage the connection point.
Do you think you'd lose all the detail you're adding down here as we work on the top half?
Not at all, because it's going to be really tough to get that hot. That's why it's when everything's
We'll
really
be
long
fluffing
like that.
it. Someone's going to be on
it's going to be
fluffer
super
duty.
tough to get any detail work on that when this is all on there. So it'd be super nice just to make that thing off the punty of the pipe, off the rod, and then go from there.
I just don't know. Do you think it'll look as good in all one glob that's pulled out like that, which we don't normally do? I was imagining having like this thickness of a spire coming up, and then you see the little connection come down here, you pull it, a little couple twists, like 3 or 4 add-ons might look more rooty popping off of the bottom.
We can put those add-ons on when we stick this section on hot, pull it up, and do everything we're doing to
So
it.
you're
We
just
can stick those
talking about just start with a minimal glob here, your core glob.
Yeah.
And then we can add a little more, and do the whole spire added on.
Yeah, we can make a root system that's a stem that's that tall and that fat at the bottom and build it all out like this.
And don't worry about the rest of the spire for now.
And then when that's all done, we can put the stone in, everything. Then we stick this on, put a couple more connection points into it, put the wraps on, and we're done.
All right, that sounds great.
This is behind the scenes what we normally
Yeah.
do. Way before the
Are
show
those
sun
started.
on
birds
that
or
tree.
those McDonald's in the distance?
These are birds.
Oh.
These are the eagles
Old-
coming
Looks
to
like
the
gold
nest.
nuts.
Let me show you how to draw a bird.
Don't
Oh.
step on the drawing, whatever you do, man.
Look at that. Matt's been doing some
Oh,
virtual
yeah.
See,
reality.
those are hawks, not eagles. Everyone knows that eagles look like McDonald's M's.
All right, I
But
think the
those are
folks
great
came to
hawks.
see
All right.
glass blowing.
They did?
They did.
All right.
Maybe
Got all
we,
our browns out.
We got
All our browns are
browns
out. We got gold. We even have adventurine here ready to go.
we got the tools set up. We got no best. So let's walk over here and check the equipment for a second.
We're probably going to need to re-up these colors as
sound
we
is
use them too
working.
here in
There's
small
the
trays and
backdrop of
whatnot.
what we do. Is it kind of like a mirror where we go into Never Never Land if I look into that? The clear glass is the tank on the right. Today they're doing the large glory hole. So all the additions and bits are going to be the tank on the right. Technically, we could do the stem out of recycle because it gets covered, right? So that was a yes. And a recognition that, hey, we didn't do that. Who saw the ASMR video we produced on Sunday? That was pretty cool.
This is a pretty big punny here, guys. Check that thing out.
I think
One of
normally you don't know how big it is. Just do the glass.
Christmas, New Year's resolution. I'm gonna start lifting my pipe. Just letting it cool down before I go in for the next jumbo gather, guys.
And why aren't we using recycled?
Well, because recycle kind of changes when you're trying to get a specific color. It changes the color, and we don't use recycle for any of our Michigan pine stems because it kind of affects the color a little bit when you're mixing blue. There's not too many blues in natural, like tree trunk bark. Some mossy greens and stuff. So I don't know if these trays are going to work for all our decorative bits if I take another gather twice this size.
You swap out for some big ones?
Yep.
All right.
And we
We're
were just
doing a
talking over here
swap.
about the timing of getting this jewel put together. It's going to be a two-tone colored jewel only for vibrancy's sake. We've got a really beautiful jewel tone pink. That's a beautiful color we've experienced over the past couple months and just started with. And because it's going to be up against a dark brown body, a trunk, you can't just put that in there. It would look cool, but it wouldn't be backlit. So we're going to cast in this color into the diamond mold, then cast at the exact right moment a white patty on top of that too. And then that's going to give it a nice white background in order for that color to really explode through the tree.
It's that. It ain't going to be a big deal. Just let it go.
That's a pretty big old gather to start here, folks, just for the base. I mean, that's about as much glass we use for some of our larger pumpkins here at the studio. There's not many products that we actually use that much glass. And I don't know if Chris already talked about the pipe that he's got in his hand.
Yes.
That's our biggest punty right there in the shop.
So much glass it hardly fits in there.
And if you guys are new and you're watching the show here with family, or it's the first time seeing the Gathering Point, we do this every week. This is the big show. We're getting crazy with it, but Chris is working with 2,000 degree glass. Obviously, as you could tell by the way we talked about things, this is a team effort. And Matt, would you mind grabbing, when you're done with that, 2 clamps like we were talking about?
Just spin it around. It's backwards right now. The stop's on the other side. Just pull that off and spin it around.
Yeah.
C-clamps.
We've used it like that before, but it didn't work because we're not going to room to pull it out and get in there without standing on top of that base. But I'll pull it out.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
You see what I mean?
I'm not used to. Ooh. So Chris is going in the furnace to reheat while we modify some things on the glory hole. Furnace is not as hot as the glory hole, but as you can see, it's moving in there, gets the job done. The color which was applied to the surface was bumpy, but as the glass heats up, you can see it's softening up. Gotta love these new cameras. It's amazing that you can do this with a phone. So this is kind of cool, just to give himself some texture. Glassblowers always looks for things to assist so that you're not wearing out your body. If you do a repetitive move over and over and over, eventually you hurt your body, you wear it out. So this is a really nice way to kind of use some different tools.
All right.
To already get that texture in there.
Whoa, where'd that texture come from?
Do you see it? The pipe thing over there.
You're just smacking it against the furnace.
If someone wants to help turn the pipe,
Yep, someone help him turn. We got these as twisters too, if you want. I'll get another pair of tweezers.
that will wrench on your wrist a little.
And I'll get a pair of tweezers that are the wider ones because these guys, it's going to roll up
Yeah, here
into
you
little
go.
Twinkies.
Twinkies.
Who likes Twinkies? Put it in the chat.
I like zingers.
Zingers?
I don't know what a zinger is.
Zingers are like the raspberry version.
Oh, the raspberry version. All right.
Oh yeah.
We did not grow up with Twinkies. I always remember being envious of friends that had Twinkie packages.
The
And then
air
poor Jake,
fluffs.
he didn't grow up with Twinkies either.
No Twinkies. No, no good.
Kind of thinking we should probably have a pair of gloves too.
Definitely.
You heard the phone ringing in the background. Normally when we tape these shows, we're not open to the public, and we're doing them at night. Well, it's holiday season. Everyone's gearing up for the holiday, and we're in the hot shop doing these demos. So people see us inside and think, hey, I could come in. The doors are open. But you know what? They are not.
Want to heat that up for me for a minute and just kind of keep it hot? I'll go get some gloves.
Okay.
All right, Chris is talking about getting gloves. Any massive glass like that gets super hot. It is a little tricky on your hands. So you can wear gloves, you can put arm sleeves on, use a longer tool, have your hand shield. There's many ways to do it. There's remnants of our bubbles from earlier for the 4 pipers
This
piping.
thing is already just so heavy.
I know. Well, I mean, I guess it's going to stretch out and be longer. So that will change
Open
the
up one of these
the
doors, get
weight
it ripping, and I'll get a couple
distribution.
celeb twists in here.
Celeb twist.
Yep. I was looking for gloves, and I thought about it last night when I was thinking about this having gloves. But when you get into something this big, you gotta have a little bit of extra hand protection, and/or it depends on what you're doing. But someone shielding your arm while you're doing it. We may get the sleeves out if we need to. Got it?
We were talking last week. You never put hand cream on the morning you're going to blow glass.
Never.
Because inevitably the pipe will be turning under you. So Chris has done enough of the trees to know the balance and the leverage that he's looking for in terms of how far he can pull it out, how he's doing it.
Is everything okay? Okay.
One of the reasons we don't film a ton of things like this is because the wait time. You can see right now, kind of have to stand around a little bit. Stand around a lot, because when the glass is thick, cools off slower, heats up slower. So this completed video eventually will make a fast forward, groovy part where it's just the action of the glass blowing versus all the standing around. So that's kind of some of the trick in glass blowing too. When you take these classes and you go and do workshops, there is a ton of this standing around time.
I wonder if we should have done it the other way and punnied up on that.
You got to think about the team.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
We're using our one big punny, so it might be too late for that.
Yeah, drip it off and pick it up. I mean, it's not going to matter in the big long run.
Yep.
I guess I
That's
don't see what you're
what's
saying.
going
Like,
on.
I don't either. We got a few different ideas going on, so it's just got to kind of have one person lead the charge. So you just let us know kind of what you're thinking, Dad, and
Wait
we'll
a second. Did
follow
you just
suit.
say there needs to be one cook in the kitchen?
yeah.
Okay, and for this particular piece, who would that be?
Matt.
What I just mentioned was Chris is in charge of this piece right now.
All right. Is this the next biggest? Big. Just use this as a punty.
Okay, we are on show 247. If you're watching now, you know the chat's still active. Even though this is a recorded show, what you guys are watching, you can put in the chat. You can talk with each other. We hope all of you had a great holiday season. I know we did. We're going to be cooking pizzas all day. We have people coming in and out. We invite the neighbors over. Lucy's actually ended up coming home with her cats.
Sure.
So we're going to have cats in the house.
A blowpipe up for the punny. One of the bigger
Dogs
ones.
in the house. And pizza in the house. What? So Jake put on a glove. He's making, you guys could cut in between. Like these areas. To make it look real rooty, he's bending it and pulling it around. Again, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Go wider.
I
no?
won't say anything.
Good for now.
I mean, once we punty this up, we're not going to be able to change anything down here, so I can go over here. I just want to make sure it's not too wide for the second set of doors, right?
And
Another roof system coming out of that side.
all those little knobs are going to get cold. So those little things hanging off, there's no way they'll last when the whole tree
Oh,
is
we could
built.
curl these in and tuck
Yeah,
them into
you
themselves
have
again
to.
and pull out one more.
Okay.
I think that'd be fine.
All right, using the torch, that's going to be our friend. Those knobs, they have to be very careful. What they're going to do is actually tuck them back in, because leaving them out, building the top of the tree, those will get too cold and will actually pop off. Matt's running the doors. He closes them after each time Chris is in, because that maintains
we do
the
have a
heat
second tier
inside.
doors, too.
Very quickly, that the heat will escape
Yeah.
from that glory hole. If you take it's a good thing it's winter. Makes it a lot easier to do these big pieces. It looks like a turkey right now. Like
Yeah.
it's got little legs.
Something.
Hope you had a great holiday.
Add bits onto it and have those be the ones that are going to be the kind of organic transition.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
So I was kind of bringing this thing back a little bit closer to itself.
So what'd you guys have for the holidays? Did you have ham, turkey, pizzas like us? Lots of holiday cookies? Oliver, my dad yesterday could pronounce all those cookies.
Pardon?
Adding some more bits coming up into this area.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to put the jewel on there now and then put this
I would
on?
punny it up and put like 2 more bits, and then as you put a hot bit in, we can bore out a hole, an area to lay that into.
Okay.
So Oliver had a friend who made German cookies, and I was just saying to him, my dad was able to pronounce.
In here first before we punny it up, or we want to punny it up?
I think
ahead?
punny it up and do it.
Okay.
Yeah, talking like. So a nice big old punny. We got the blowpipe heated up over here. You could use recycle on it so that it's going to hold a ton of heat. And it's about as large as this guy is. And we need to have that connection be fragile. It's an added connection. It's a weld. But it's got to be strong enough to make a pretty tall tree here. It's got to hold that heat for a long time. So we're going to flip it around and start laying down some new brown accent bits on there. And kind of deciding a spot. I mean, I was thinking like if we did put 2 bits on there, like here and here, then you can open that hole up a little bit and lay it in there and add a couple more around it. I was gonna cast it and then I punted it up right here and then let it solidify and get all hard and whatnot, and then just when you're ready, the grabbers grab it perfect, and we just tap it off and grab it, place it in there.
All right, so Matt's over there staying out of the way of the glory hole here, shaping the punny. It's a big old punny. Another thing about making glass this size is that everything's heavier. The pipes are heavier, the glass is more. Got to cool the pipe, make sure it's cool so Chris can really choke up on the piece. Oliver's working the doors now. There's these little metal clips on the top. You can open and close them. This glory
Right
hole
here,
we
Matt.
don't use as often, so you can see it's very pristine in shape because it just doesn't get turned on that often. We do use it for classes, so you might have come here and had a class. Again, Matt put some water on that pipe so we can get a good leverage on
It's
it.
a huge punty.
It's a big boy.
Huge punny.
Just the pipes alone wear you out. There ain't
Yeah.
any glass on them yet.
We're working out of a different glory hole, so your view is different here at the shop. That punny has to hold the
Want me
heat
to
for
tuck
quite
it
a
up
while
on there a little
with
more, or is
this
that good?
It could be tucked up on there a
So
little
Chris
bit
is
more.
making sure it's the right temperature. The inner core was a little hot, so it seems odd, but he's going to flash it again. The inner core will cool just slightly, and they will attach it.
Shape of the punny when you're working on a piece for this long is more important than any other punny shape. And the glass is just a little too much hanging
Behind
off
you.
the end there, so it's important that we get that tucked up on there. So it's really the pipe holding the weight of it, not that tip bit of glass. That's looking pretty good there.
Just make that punty perfect, man.
It's beautiful. We only have 4 mics, so just so I know when they're in the heat of things, I wanted a mic to be able to talk. So Matt's going to stick close to Oliver if he has something to say, or pass on a message to one of us.
All right, this is a pretty big punny. You know how Lino feels when he was punning stuff up like this and he was like 88 years old. Jeez.
It is a workout for sure. I know many of you are thinking about that right now. I remember when I was learning how to blow glass in the 90s, there was a guy, Billy Morris, who made like ginormous pieces, and he would continually work out. Had lots of muscles, because glass blowing can get heavy if you're doing
This is leveling out the bench, because a little bit of a wobble, if you're rocking while you're sitting on the bench and you got the piece on the bench and we've got all this extra lever weight on the end of the elongated tree and it just rolls and you wiggle it and it bounces, it hops one time, that could cause that piece to break right off super fast.
So that's
better
why
to
the
get that
bench
fixed
has
now.
4 adjustable legs, because the concrete.
So those bits you're going to be bringing over,
have
you're going
chips in
to bark them up over there before you bring them to me with texture?
If you want me to, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to, because it's not going to be easy to bark them all up on there when it's just one hot bit. So if you can get some texture on them, then we'll bring them in and drag them up on there. Unless
Did
you want
you
me to
see-
bring you a bit and you add them on.
Yeah, let's do that. Sounds
All right.
good.
Did you see how we did it on that thing?
You want?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to.
With how hot this hole is, do we want to just leave these doors open, being that that's like where we need to even get this guy in right now?
As you've got time right now, I would close them up just to keep any extra heat, because we're probably going to need to open up the second tier doors later on.
Okay.
So if we can close them up, let's do it. In a moment, when we go to make the jewel, we're going to work together, and it's going to be all 4 of us. We won't be able to get those doors open.
Yeah, okay.
Twice this size, what you're looking for?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And then I'm thinking that this side, just so you know, Matt, as you're turning, that's the back side of the tree. That could be the front side of the tree, and maybe the jewel is going to be right there. So we're going to we'll do like start with 2 bits, one coming up the side like this, the other one coming here, and then we'll kind of bore out that hole there and get that opened up.
We're going for all the earthy tones. A little amber, a little tobacco, a little bit of really kind of ground cover colors, fall.
Now the
I
colors
like
don't
mixing
mix
up all the browns together to make our tree color. They look so good.
They're different than paint. They don't blend together. So even though they're layered on top, they don't mix. So if we did a blue and a yellow on top of each other, we won't really get a green. We kind of get blue and yellow side by side. At this time, Jake's the maestro at the bench. He's watching to make sure the twist and color is happening in the desired manner.
This is just the start of the show, folks. We got a long way to go to sculpt this, and this is a type of glass blowing. It's different than what we normally do on our shows. We'll make 4 pieces on a 2-hour show. We're going to make 1 piece here, so it's a different kind of energy where we got to just slow down and, you know, think more than we normally would.
Extra intentionality.
These are bringing me back to my days at the Henry Ford, when we would make glass and I'd have to talk to the public about boring things because the items took a long time to make. Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
A little less heat on the next one, Matt.
Less heat on this bit?
Gnarly.
On this.
Okay.
Just because it's flopping on me as I'm putting it on.
Flopping while you're flopping?
Yeah.
Just extra flop it, dude.
So one of the things that will happen too as this piece goes on, the left hand of the master glass
torch you?
blowers will get tired and they'll
You
need
start up on the
assistance
next one.
turning
We'll
the
handle this
pipe.
one.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons Matt's standing there ready to do it. He's going to flash the piece, giving Jake a break in between the pieces, but it also allows him a minute to let his arm rest.
Oh boy.
Whole new meaning to the word armrest.
Yeah, we want to definitely let that stiffen up. But she's starting to peel a little bit. Nah, just heat the tip of it mostly. I'm gonna go in for one more and I'll pull that up and that'll be that spot. The next one I'll do is here. But just go for the tip of that so I can pull it up a little taller. It's looking correct. It's looking really good. It's looking Rudy.
Rudy. What was that guy's
Rutacious?
name?
Rutacious.
Grunt?
Groot.
Groot.
I am Groot.
Channel your inner Groot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's Oliver channeling his inner Groot.
Oh yeah, let's remember Groot.
Sometimes you have to keep the doors on their toes. We can edit that out, I hope.
I'm gonna let you turn this one. I'm gonna come from the outside and give it the old tug. It's a classic move.
The old tug?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's cute. Let me pull on this one time and then I'll be ready for that one. Let's do it. Hold it here for a sec, let it fall. All right, flip it. Hold her steady.
No way.
That's our jewel area. Let me get in there. Alrighty, number dos.
Extra texture.
Bonus texture.
I walk by.
Another one?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
looking so intense.
So intense.
Or should we go for the jewel here?
Put the jewel on and then
I think so.
right
and then
there.
add
and then
another
we'll
one
put
next
around
to
it a little.
Yeah.
You want the jewel?
This is all
What's
yours.
the colors on the jewel?
Cranberry and white.
So white first, and then cranberry over the outside, and then cast it.
We'll do one casting of cranberry. Right, next person throws white right on top of it. We smooth it out perfect. That cranberry bit will be cut off right here, and we'll have a punny. We'll stick it on there and pull it out.
All right. I don't understand. 2 castings, a
Yeah.
cranberry casting, and knock it out.
Double patty. Just both of them hot at the same time.
So just do a really tiny cranberry one, and then just whatever it is in there is fine. If it's round or whatever, and then cast the white one on top.
I'll do the cranberry one. You bring a white one right behind it, like that big.
that white one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got that, Matt? The Rutaceous Tree and the Jewel of Destiny.
I'm not filling the whole bowl. I'm only filling half, right?
Yeah, like a third.
Like that.
Oliver, would you set a pair of diamonds on that casting area?
Yeah.
Take those, yep.
He's got the diamonds to make the diamond. Why are they
Come on
called
out, let me
diamonds?
get this
Because
hot.
right in there is the diamond. Going into the diamond. So we got Chris adding some color, reheating there. Matt keeping an eye on the tree, making sure the punny's good. Jake over at the board.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. I need a second still here.
What do you got going on here, man? You got
It
some
is-
pink on there?
Yeah, this is the cranberry pink. I'm gonna drop this in the mold in about 5 seconds. Squish it down. Drop the white right on top.
So the diamond's going to have 2 colors in it, and so then they have to think about the placement on the tree with that as well. Does the white go against the tree trunk? Does the cranberry go against the tree trunk? Which colors do they want where?
Alrighty. I'm gonna take that. Thank you.
Filling the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those little
We're gonna cover that back
edges
end
are
up
always
anyways,
tough
right?
to get to. If you've
You
been
got
watching
your
our
punny in it?
Honey's right here.
experimental show, you know with the numbers, any sharp edges are difficult. All right, now Jake's got the piece on his pipe.
Nice.
That's gonna look
Two-layered
nice.
diamond
That's gonna look
that's
real
gonna
cool.
go on the tree. And then the next question is to figure out how it lays on the tree. Is the white side up? Is the cranberry side up? Is
Ideally,
it between
Have
the
we
roots?
have we explained why we put the white
I
underneath?
kind of explained it, but not really to the fullest.
Go for
Okay.
it.
So we got this tree is all like a mix of browns, and this pink, like this cranberry pink that we have is transparent. and we wanted to make it pop. And if we just made the jewel out of that only and put it on there,
Torch the area where
it
it's
would
going.
just have the like all the browns as a backlight, and it would
Clear,
look
thick and
super
bit.
dull and dark and not like a jewel at all. So we're putting a white behind it to help really make it pop and stand out against all the browns that we have on the tree base.
All right, so I can smell somebody just had some kind of hair follicle burned.
Yeah,
I smelled
it
it
was
in
me.
the air. It was Michelle. Everything okay over here?
Yeah, I just moved the bit off the marber and
All right.
I shed a hair on it as it went by.
So this is going to be the 3-team process here. We're letting this stiffen up. We had to take it out the mold because it would just explode being next to the metal like that. But we're letting it stiffen up real good now. Oliver, I'm going to take a little drop of water in there in a second when we go for this stick.
Okay.
I'll need just a third hand to do that. And then Chris is just preheating the area with this magical torch. What do you think? When you flip it, it'll be ready?
There we go.
Those diamonds.
Okay. That's freaking sweet looking.
Yeah.
And then we just fill in around it with a few smaller ones. Go for it, Matt.
Okay.
Just the perfect. Totally.
Chris, do you think it should be warmed up with just like the torch or the fluffer? Okay. Yeah.
Started chucking pipes. We're already to that point that we've got a few different pipes that have already been cleaned throughout this process and going back up. If this was a production item, that would be for the next piece to start, but we're just adding more and more brown here. We're really going to start building this up.
Jake?
Yep, start them up. Go for one more deep heat and we'll get that to fall down. We'll grab a couple paddles and I'll be able to push it from the bottom, getting it straightened out.
As you roll along with these pieces, you always recognize what more tools you need. Jake was looking at the bench and he's like, oh, I'm going to need some paddles. They're going to have to shield my arms. As much as you plan these items, they take a lot of think through, and many times you're going to do them a few times over before you get all the steps down.
Level it out.
Normally when you see us on the
Pause,
show,
right? Keep going.
we're doing a certain size
You want any
piece.
action on your punty?
No, it's looking really good.
And we're all super comfortable with that scale. When we go to a
Let's go to that
larger
same
scale,
spot.
there's a lot of moving parts, and you always got to think one step ahead.
So I'm
Everyone's
using gravity.
designated a
Ready?
role,
Yeah.
and they are watching from their perspective
Oh,
of next
yeah,
steps.
yeah.
This is more of the tree trunk that Jake will shape, and the idea is to have it look like it's growing around
Yeah.
the diamond. If you've ever seen a tree
Tuck it
go
in
through
there.
a fence,
I'm tucking it, baby.
it's that same kind of idea. The jewel was there, and the tree grew around the jewel.
That looks just incredible.
Incredible.
What we're working on too, Dad, is flattening out the bottom.
Do what? Flatten it?
It's a little bit, you know,
Want me to texture it?
crazy. No, I'm talking about the bottom of that whole piece.
It needs to be flattened. You're gonna re-punny it before we put the other piece on the other side and heat it up and put it on
That's
the
a
marble
great
and straighten
idea.
it all out, and then just punny, take that punny, just reheat it and doctor it up, and put the same punny back on.
Beautiful. How about that move?
None of us know what you
ready
mean,
for
but that's
another one,
okay.
Jake?
Ready for another one. The bottom, these 3 points. Let me focus for 1 sec. Maybe I shouldn't touch it too much. It's looking pretty good. Look at down here, folks, to see how that curls over the punny and this curls up on the punny. And there's 3 parts that are uneven. So Chris's amazing idea, it looks awesome, is that we'll finish up the rest of this. We'll punny on the top here, break it off, get this bottom hot again, flatten it out, have it be the way it's going to be, and use this same punny again and re-punny it up.
Even if you like watch this show a whole bunch, how often they probably never seen us re-punty something up and like
I don't know if we ever have.
use 3-4 punnies for a single product. That's cool.
It's super cool. It's unique, and we're learning every day, every time we're doing something. You want to gather up another brownie? We'll do 3 brownies, and then we'll punny it up.
I'm ready.
Okay. On this next heat, we can go cool it down as we're waiting for Oliver to cool the pipe down.
The cool part about filming this show is we'll be able to show you the finished piece. Somehow we'll stitch it together for the video or something. Or be able to have the finished piece
What's your
on the Facebook page.
A little
Because
everything.
you can't tell the colors here at all.
Shereen.
The jewel is right in there. It's pink right there. But I'll tell you,
It's about as
it looks
natural
like,
and crazy as it could be.
yeah, it looks like a giant mess of nothing right
Start
now.
back here.
So are you just joining us? Welcome. This is The Gathering Point. Traditionally, it's live every Tuesday night. It is not this week,
Okay.
so that we could film a special holiday tree
Got Matt coming
and
in.
also give everyone time off to enjoy the holiday themselves.
The other thing we can do when we flip it around is put a nice big fat Maurice on the bottom, because it's peeling off this brown pretty
Yep.
heavy. So we got 2 more brown squirrely applicators going on. What up, Nolan?
What?
There's our
Nolan's
5th glass
here.
blower, just in case things get crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
And they get crazy.
Check that
There's
drawing out on
Nolan,
the
fellow
floor.
glass blower coming in. Yeah, good to see you again, Nolan.
Texture yours up.
We are filming. I just turned my mic up. We're filming our holiday.
Cheers. Got a big jewel in there. Oh, hey.
All right, another bit. There's the jewel. See it right there? So again, he's taking the colored browns. And the other thing that's important is that the same person is dipping up the color, because then it's going to be consistent. If you have 3 different people adding color on and you're looking for a certain look, chances are it's not going to work. Back to the glory hole.
You need a second door? It's okay.
One of the jobs as the assistant is you always fluff up the color. See how it's going to start to run out? You just tip the trays back. Another reason that we use the metal trays, see how they're reflective? So when you're applying the color, you can look at the back of the fruit tray. So you'd be coming in this way. You can look at this back here and see if you've got the color on your end tip.
Do you want to make the second punny, Dad? That should be good. All right. That was just bonus. I don't know what the deal is with that. Yeah. I'll flatten up the top.
Nice and flat. It's
Yes.
gonna have to be really big and flat.
Yep.
Probably gonna put the shit on it.
can do.
Ooh, where to put the next tree trunk, branchy, swirly, whatever it's called. It reminds me of surgery. Like that kind of looked like a heart. There's all these things. When we see pictures of surgeons doing an operation, yeah, it looks like the valves of a heart and stuff. And it's like, I always wonder, how on earth do surgeons
This is
do that?
straight out of the Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal is Jim Henson.
Yeah. So we don't need long here, but then come out and just heat the tip, and I'll fluff it a little bit, and then we'll squash it. Yep. All the way out, and I'll close them up, and you can just get the tip in there. Perfect.
Woo!
Pretty crazy.
Crazy, crazy.
So we're going to flatten that end, putty it up with a big blue putty, and you're going to take that and use the same one.
Perfect.
After we flatten the bottom of the tree.
Are you guys ready for this temporary putty to start it up, or?
Yeah.
What color was this?
Mix all of it. Same mix and all of it. Anything along that outer edge at all more, or you think we're good?
On the bottom there?
Yeah.
Turn it slow and let's take a look at it. Just turn it real slow. Do one more back there.
This area?
Yeah. We could do it once we flip it back around though too.
So if we want to put it back around and do it and not have it flat, we want to have it
I'll whip up one more.
This stuff reminds me of like roadies at a music show. There's so much setup before the band comes out on stage, and then there's all kinds of tear down when the band is done.
on there. I'll bring you another room when this goes in, ready?
Okay.
Larger pieces just take a extreme amount of work.
We got to put one more on there, so just got to keep that warm for a sec. Sorry, Oliver.
And the
That's
glass
totally
has to
fine.
be the right temperature.
I've kind of subtracted some tools. I threw the jacks back
noticed.
here, took the shears away, just because there's so much going on. There's no room for looking for your tool and having too much clutter on the bench. We're gonna put, yeah, 'cause we're gonna break it off. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna put one more along the bottom edge here and creep it up into that region.
You all right?
Plenty, I think so. Yeah. You know.
They give you a start up in here, bring it down, and then use maybe the thick end and twist out into a root or whatever.
Okay.
coming out.
All right. One more deep one. This one's going to be kind of a finalizer on the back side, and I'm even going to try and get a little extra weight distribution and pull out a couple down to the tips
Like
here.
the thickness here, or that?
Be there, and I'll pull
I
this
got
one
you,
out
okay.
like that. Leave it real thick. That's so cool looking. The colors are definitely muddled, but we're really hoping for them. With the white background, I see the pink glowing a little bit right now, but when it cools down, if you're looking at that and your focal point, you see the whole crazy tree, but your eye's just drawn to the pink jewel right there. Better give it one more, yeah.
Jake, who do you think put that jewel in the tree?
That's like it's basically like the Dark Crystal kind of deal, or like Watership Down, where there's like Watership Down. It's called Frith, which is the god of all Frith, 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 But
Is
it's like
Fritz
the
the
god
god
of
of
nature. The god of Frit.
One of the things I will say is as we explore new concepts and ideas, they build on each other. So any glass studio, any ceramic studio, metal shop, they do projects, and as they get challenged to come up with new ideas or new items, the work evolves. And so what you see of someone in their 20s, by the time they're 30, 40, 50, that work probably has quite evolved. Now, the cool thing about Jake that he gets to witness is that Chris has 25 years of glassblowing experience on top of Jake, so he can teach Jake what he knows, but then
All
Jake
right.
can
That's
expand
pretty
on that and take it to the next level.
Good looking. Say it's getting heavy? Heady. Little of both. So this should be the next one that we can do this. So I'll do one toucher upper on it, Oliver. We'll let it cool for a second and stick it on there and break that off.
When you connect, you can run the two colors together when you pick them up, blue on one side,
Hey,
and
man.
the other, and have them touch.
On a scale of 1
You know,
to
that's
10, how
cool.
heavy is that
way you're not
guy?
getting that floating entity. You're not
7?
seeing in it and seeing it through.
All right,
It's
that
just
means
pretty
it's like
solid all the way
a
around.
4 for me.
Yep.
And the blowing has
And-
just begun.
Yeah, that's good. Twist it up.
Six.
You may have heard Chris say earlier the leverage of the tools. If you use tools that are
All right.
too thin, the metal's too thin, you will ruin them. In college, I had a friend, he
call.
made these really thick tweezers. They were
Real
great
heavy.
for
Hold on,
doing
we get a
large
little more heat in
sculpture
there for you.
because they were
He's got a lot
nice
right
and
there. It's
thick.
got
A little
Cool down.
one in there, but maybe we do that at the end. Little finesser. Yeah. Man.
That looks so cool.
So sweet.
Okay, don't let it fall. Don't let it fall and fall. Keep it on center because if it falls, it'll peel right off.
No stress.
No, it's a perfect
No
punny. It's a good
stress.
connection. Everything looks great.
Oh, so Oliver was asking about the weight because in just a moment, the piece is going to be his.
Oliver just lotioned up his hands real good for this move.
Yup.
Ta-da!
Looking
And
good.
away it goes.
So I'm just going to reheat this. You want to flatten that out?
Yep.
You want that at all?
No, I'm just going to be flattening it, so that's good.
Well, you take back over.
If the
Oliver,
pipe
you get, I
diameter
don't think
was
you'll need it, but
small,
you could get on that other door for him just in case he needs it a little bit. You're just going to flash that punty a little bit, and then you're going to come out and heat up just the bottom. There. So we can, right like that, and we can get the whole bottom hot and set it on the marber and let it flatten itself out. Then, and the punty will stiffen itself up right now.
Do you need a little extra room yet, or are you good?
And the key to
that was a mistake to put that on. Like,
That's the whole purpose of the rolling yoke. You know, you can move it, and when you bring the piece out, you bring the yoke out with the piece. You don't have to pull the piece on the yoke. You just slide the whole thing back.
thank you.
All right, nice getting the boys in on the heavy work. It's fun to be working some big glass.
Jake, you just cool down over there, man.
I'm just going to relax a little bit.
Yup.
So we'll be putting a Maurice on it once we get it flattened up. And you're doing it with the paddles, you're just going to drip it on the marver.
I was just gonna get it hot enough that I could put it on the marver and get it on center, and then let it cool off. We'll cut the Maurice with the diamonds, flatten it on there, equalize it, re-punt it up with the jumbo punty. I'll come over for a second now. Thank you.
You just cool down over there, man.
What does that look like? If you didn't know the finished product, it looks pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Those knobs that he's pushing down right now are a bit concerning for
Maria?
the piece as it gets
Or
large.
Maurice?
You'll need to keep the torch
Yeah.
on them.
Pretty flat.
Do we want to add any more bits on there now? I mean, that's kind of a nice opportunity, or no?
I think it looks pretty darn good.
All right.
I'm gonna just take one deep flash and come out and take a look at it.
Okay.
And one of you guys can bring me a recycle Maurice.
I brought a clear one.
Yeah, maybe dump that back and we'll do a recycle one.
All right.
We got a lot of branches coming up here.
That's fair.
Hand me that Taglia, would you?
And you think it's wide enough for stability's sake?
I think
We don't need to make a super wide tree. It could be tall and have many slimmer.
Yeah, like that big around of the biggest
Max,
one.
yeah.
No bigger than that.
Totally.
What do you think about indenting that bottom more so we don't have to grind the whole bottom?
I like that idea very much.
So he's bringing that Maurice a little premature.
So just hold on to that for 1 sec. I think we're going to indent the bottom actually here.
Is that about enough for?
Plenty. That's perfect.
Okay.
I'll work it. You turn it. I'll two-hand it from the outside.
All right.
It's just like playing tennis. It's the old backhand,
Pickleball.
the old forehand.
So you're telling me your acting experience and your tennis lessons have helped in your career?
Something like that, yeah.
Who knew?
Not me.
Paddle that guy.
I'm doing it. She's a honker. I'm bending the Taglia.
All right,
think?
ladies and gentlemen, we have until 4 o'clock to finish this video. It's another 45 minutes.
All right.
gonna
I'm
be
ready,
tight.
Oliver, when you are.
I guess
But
just
we'll
don't put it
get it
on
done.
too big.
Yeah.
Studio opens at 4.
Marv that into a coat for me, would you?
That's just a lot of mass there to heat that up to then push
right.
it in and have it sink in nicely. We got a little bit. That's nice. We're not going to put a huge Maurice on. Just a really hot bit that's going to melt into the and permanently fuse to the very bottom there.
That Taglia is going to be really hot. The heat's going to transfer pretty
Smoking.
quick on that. So everyone needs to be aware so they don't grab it from the wrong area. But it's getting tense in here. Can you guys, even though this is a recorded show, can you feel the tension in the air? Can you see the determination and the concentration on everyone's face? Everyone's got a task to do. They know exactly what they're doing. Cooling the pipe, shucking the pipes, getting things together.
I'll turn it, or you want to turn it and push, or I'll push from the outside. I had a
Working
lot
out
of
the next
leverage.
steps.
You want to push or turn? Okay. Is that enough? You need the second door. All right, we're gonna push it, cool it down, then we'll punny it up again.
So technically you could do this 50 times, depending how your finished product looks.
I think it's got a good heat.
There's no limit to how many times you can punt it. We knew an artist when we were training that would actually spend 2 to 3 hours shaping a piece, put it in a structure that turned the pipe and heated it, and then take their hour lunch.
What do you think? There's nowhere to push it.
Someone would come back 15 minutes early.
What if we put the that big round ball right on the marver right here, and you set it down on the ball? It's got
Smart.
a super hot, let it drip onto the ball.
Yep.
It'll be like really indented with mine. Something like a lot bigger round. Not sure what.
Doesn't matter what the shape looks like. Yeah.
Improvise.
All right.
Takes a hot minute. This is why we don't do big pieces every week on the show. There's so much planning and process involved. Plus, the majority of our products, one of our goals is to have affordable pieces. If we were to spend half a day making one large piece, there's a few people that would be able to afford it. But when we do a lot of smaller items, you guys can get these items in your hand and enjoy them.
Check this move out. This is the old gravity special. The tips are dripping down, the inside's getting pushed up. This is so we don't have to grind it and flatten it later on. Then he takes it to the marber and he'll flatten it out one more time so that it's all gonna sit perfectly flat, but now the core is pushed up in there, and I think that probably just did exactly what we wanted it to. That's just incredible. All right. Now to flip it back around.
I think that's pretty good.
That's amazing.
Hit that thing dead center.
I know. All right.
I think you're pretty good. That looks great. You gotta get a picture with that funny.
Want me to cool that down? Got no fluffer.
We're doing all right. Stay right there. We're letting it cool down. Okay.
All right, Matt.
You got that?
Back in the
I'm
action,
gonna make the
remembering
middle
how
section.
heavy the piece was,
And
what
we're gonna
exactly
put that
he
like
needs
this
to
and
do.
pull it out this way, or we're not going to be.
I think we should do it as 3 separate bits that we slap on the side and slowly build up. No?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think so. Because then the connection's going to be straight flat on.
So you're going to say we're going to hit 3 separate bits fairly quickly,
Biggest.
and then have him touch, and then heat the whole thing up and pull those up to the tree.
I think we could just do like one bigger one first and cut it like this and have it just hanging over the edge like that. Then the next one, biggest one, touches in the middle and goes up a little further. And the third one around goes all the way up to the tip, starts in the middle and goes up to the tip. Slowly they go
And
a little
then we
higher.
can heat the whole mass up and let it fall out a little if we want when we
Yeah.
melt them together.
At least there's multiple overlapping connection points.
So I'm going to doctor them up the same way I've been doctoring. I'm getting
Like that
started,
big on the first one.
and then they're going to get bigger from that
Smaller.
one. I thought you described it. Your shorter one, then a one.
But shorter and thicker, because it's going to be like that. So it's like a thick one that's going to go up to here, then a maybe the same size that goes a little taller, then a smaller
Not even
one.
as big as my hand. It's going to get big quick.
Yeah.
I think smaller man. I would think it probably like this big.
For the first one?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. We got Oliver doing a little NASCAR work back here. You can see his hands moving. That watch is tight. Can you pick that?
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's part of the NASCAR pay grade. You get to do this type of stuff.
I love that, the NASCAR. All right, so what are we looking at here, folks? What are you thinking?
We're just seeing, I don't know what Matt was seeing. What were you seeing, Matt? Flat again? It looks really flat. And so what we were just talking about, I'm not sure if that all made sense to you guys. We had to go over it a couple different times, but we'll start with, it's gonna be right there is the perfect spot asking for it. Right in there, I'll jam in that crevice and slowly pull out a stem that's starting to get right about here, nice and thick. Then we'll turn it. The next one will go in the middle and come up a little bit further. Then the third one will be on the back side, so we got it about like this tall. And they'll all be, because what I was nervous about is if we have that flat connection there, we put a flat connection and pull it out real long, then you've got this weird punty-like connection in between the,
It's kind of
Tallest
crazy. It
part.
sounds like how I wanted to braid the glass.
a little bit, yeah.
Do you know what I
Totally.
mean? So I did the twist on a candy cane a couple shows back. You guys might remember that. And that's kind of what Jake's talking about here. He wants to kind of twist the bark and together so that it goes taller and becomes the stem of the tree. So instead of just pulling something out or having one blob, he's kind of making its way in.
Keep those closed as much as we can here. I can tell she's getting colder, and even though that's a really hot hole, it's our hottest hole we've got, the thing really rips. Just having those doors open, it's just less insulation.
Now in our studio, we have 3 glory holes that can be used at any time. When we're doing
Do you
classes,
think you need to beat it up before we put it on
we
there?
have 2
Do
of
what?
them on.
Beat it up before we put it on there, just for a
So
little
we
extra.
got
for some
Nolan
texture.
over here. He's working at the
What?
other bench, the other glory hole.
No, I just don't know if I don't know what was beaten up after the case, after the fact, or what was before. I'm getting one more builder upper heat on here because I know that when you lay on this new hot, tall tree application, it's going to take a minute for that lengthy spire to cool down. So I want to make sure my body here has got enough time that I can sit at the bench and maybe have someone puffing on it for it to solidify. Nice, thanks.
That's good. You kind of see what the next size is going to be.
Right.
I'll get it up.
Let Matt take it so you have a minute to think.
All right. Will you grab this, Matt, from me? Will you take a heat on this one, Matt? Woo! She's a sizzler.
So allowing Matt to take it gives Jake a break so he can think about it for a second.
Just a
In
deep
your
one, keep an eye
subconscious
on the
mind, you
floppage.
know the shape and pattern you just did.
Bring it back, and I'll just let you
his
turn it.
hand
I'll
is
blow on
super
it.
hot too. So while Chris gets the next one, he's kind of looking at the piece and planning out where the bit will go.
Right here at the bench, I might twist it up a little more. Hold her real steady.
When someone else does the heating for you
I'll be
too,
ready
it gives
pretty
you a minute
quick here,
to come
Jake.
out and
All right.
shape from outside the bench. You don't normally see us do this. It's very rare we're shaping from the side of the bench. But it also gets to a point
Get
where
in there.
it's
I think we're
too
good on
long,
heat.
you
He's gonna
can't
be
reach it
bringing
from
this
the
one.
bench. Now this next one, if Matt holds his back end down, that will give Jake some wiggle room time.
Right there's fine.
Does that make sense?
Well, but we want to let this fall back down, and it's the perfect side for that as well. But that does make sense. Just hold it right there is perfect.
All right, Chris was checking if he had diamonds in his hand. Sometimes doing these larger pieces, the assistant who's bringing the bits will also have shears on them. So if they need to cut it, Jake's arm is going to start getting warm. And if Chris had tweezers, he could tap it. So one of the things I really like is wearing Carhartts because they have all these pockets. And you can stick extra tools in there.
One more, right?
Yeah.
You okay with me doing this?
Yep. You think we need one more, or should we just pull that tip out further? Need one more. Okay. We're going big. Just keep an eye on the tip, and I'll fluff the punny on the next one, and let's try and get it
Somebody's gonna
straightened
need
out.
to be on that, going from the door, close the doors when they come out, Oliver, and then come get right on the torch and get that punty.
Okay.
Because once it gets too cold, we're not gonna be able to get it hot enough again.
Yep.
You ready for this one, Jake?
Yeah. All right. Come on out when you're ready, Matt, and you just focus on letting it fall the correct way. I'll work around you, but just try and get that base lined up the way we want it.
It's snuffleupagus' nose.
Nah, not with the paddle. It's all right. We'll use wood for that, but we can straighten it out in a minute. I think I'm gonna do this one from the outside, probably.
Good.
Okay, one more heat. Yeah, I can do that. Let's worry about it on the next one, probably. All right, that's good. I'll paddle it. We got time. Go for it, Albert. Flip it. Yeah, she's stiff.
Be ready, Jake.
We'll just have to slowly build some heat up in there, just like he's doing. That's good. Keep it running. Should I start in the middle?
I'd start from, yeah, I think so, wherever,
Yeah.
sure.
Flip.
That middle one's good, I think.
Flip it.
Flip. There you go.
A little more.
Slow pull.
Yeah.
Slow. Turn a little bit. Yeah. Now that's going to be our length right there up top.
I better just hold on to that right there for a second.
Yeah. Give me the diamonds and I'll work on it while you're doing that. Go for it. Flip it. Spin it a little.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pull it anymore right there.
I was trying to tuck it in
But
a
I
little.
could put a wrap right there and make that the.
Mhm.
I think that's about
Holy
as deep as we can
son
get.
of a gun.
This is the gnarliest tree.
Flip. Torch the foot so it bends. Where's it off center? On the foot or no?
No, it's on the punny, which is fine. We just gotta blast that punny. Don't worry about the color at all. Let me take one heat on it. I'll have you close it up behind me. That's perfect height for the hole.
Is that a good depth?
Yep, that's exactly what we want. All right, I'm coming out.
All right, so we're gonna start doing the canopies now.
What?
Start doing the canopies now.
Yeah, I think we should get it straightened out here first and let that tip cool down a little bit maybe, or hit it even harder and hit it right in the crevice for now till we get it straightened out. It's getting closer. I'm gonna go for one more heat, then we can use the paddle on it.
That's gonna be on center pretty much almost right now, so that's good.
All right.
What do we need to do up here? We're gonna leave this like this, or do you wanna?
I'll straighten that out if you wanna Let's think about how the bits are going on.
I think we're gonna put one right about there. No, I think one about right there.
Are we
The first
using
one?
the big casting shears though, or to beat it up? Or are we using flat
No,
crimps?
we're gonna wrap them right on.
Yeah, and then
They're brought hot. We're gonna wrap them right on, flatten them, and cut them.
I know. Are we using the
You're
flat?
thinking the casting shears. I don't think are the right ones. Get those doors open before he gets over there if you can.
Close them up, or at least one side.
I'm prepared.
It looked pretty straight, right? It was almost there.
A lot of tools over here, extra. You're gonna need to put the powder, the white on. There's the diamond. Paddle doesn't belong there. Oliver's main role right now is to keep an eye on that
Blast it.
punny.
Keep going with it. Pause with this side on the bottom. All right, flipper. A little more. You want to go for one?
That gem is still blinging in there. It looks so
Pull it
good.
out a little bit here.
So in the middle
Stiff
of all of
boys.
this, there is a giveaway. If you're with us right now, here is the giveaway.
Just till you see a little motion in the
Got
stem.
that cool.
And then we'll come out and do the same thing. I'll push down the
swirl
middle
in
and we'll
there.
try and straighten it up.
The GA logo.
It's good. It's still, I mean, we got a nice heat on
So
it.
you
It's
got
still just a little
light
leaning to one
behind
side.
it. It's just blinging. It's super beautiful.
As long as we just, yeah, as long as we just think about the weight of it.
246 was the show.
You know, it's
And
got,
because
yeah.
this is
There we
pre-recorded,
go.
the following week, we're going to give it away.
Just keep going up. If this bends up that way, then the weight's going to be perfect. If it bends towards the high spot.
Once we get the whole thing with all the things
We'll
on it,
bend it the way we need.
we're ready. Want to bring the first one in? I'm thinking we're going to put it on like right there.
Just above it, yeah.
Then we'll go up there.
And I mean, I think you could be cutting and one person could be flat crimping too and pulling out a little bit or something. I don't know if you're going to cut the whole thing up.
Put it on real thick so we'll have enough time to. I think we'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Ooh, it's kind of nice when it's so balanced. It's barely lifted up and it comes up.
Could probably cool that pipe down again here soon.
Chris, you still want me fluffing your punty?
Yeah.
I would just keep fluffing it until he says, don't fluff it.
All right.
I think that probably the size of that trunk I bought today.
Okay.
Coming.
Not double that size.
30% more?
Yeah.
30,
But remember, we're not making that canopy that big.
Right.
30%
So not even quite
more.
that much.
That's a good way to describe it to someone.
And what, are you using all the transparent green?
I think it would look cool. Yeah. Just because we got all the greens out doesn't mean we use them all.
Chris was explaining the doors. Running doors is a thing. Every artist is different on how they need them done. They got to figure out the teamwork of getting them done together.
Yeah, as soon as he brings that bit over, I'm done.
You can see how big the piece is. It runs the whole length of the bench. Right now, I'd probably say it's about 24 inches long.
Yeah.
Couple more seconds.
Oliver's going to keep a sharp eye on that punty.
All right, here I come.
Whoa.
Oh, that was a first. So you can see Chris does have a glove on because the mass is thick.
Could maybe get in there with a paddle
And
and shield
now
his fingers.
he's using the shears. Eventually, we might go to the casting shears
Sorry,
because they're a
dude.
little bigger.
Oh, and then Oliver, you're on powder duty.
We're putting POW on this too?
Yes, sir. Powder. How dare you do?
Alrighty. Excuse me. We going like pretty light?
Yeah,
Light
a
POW?
light dusting.
Like we've been doing the bubbles?
Yes.
Okay.
Dad, are you going to the powder tray now?
Is that what we're doing? Sure.
You want me to pull out like the pipe cord but you can roll it above it?
Go right over that.
Yeah, just give him a little point in the air angle, and he'll just do the old dusty poo. Just a light dusty poo.
You guys want to go next time?
Beautiful. It's snowing in the enchanted forest. My goodness. If you get a good heat on that, Dad, I'll be ready when you sit down.
These are the things you got to plan ahead.
Oliver,
The
would you
yolks
turn up the heat in here a
are
little bit?
something that
Try it out.
balance the piece for leverage. If you do not have them and you're doing it by hand, it's super heavy. But we'll see how it goes. Chris feels confident he's got this under control.
Thanks.
He's done enough bigger pieces. We did these giant O's one time for a company. They were lampshades, and they were humongous.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
All right, here comes Jake with the bit. Squeezing it up. Cutting off the extra so you can go take another gather. You might want to help him turn in the future, because like right now he's going to be getting tired. Quite the pine tree. All right, going back into
Our
flash
magnum
it.
opus pine tree.
I know, I feel like there's all these different pine trees. Which style is that?
There's some serious mojo deep
This
within this
Oliver
thing.
I
was
think-
on it. He brought over the yoke. That's the tire thing. Like yoke on oxen, that's what helps. So Chris will be able to not have to hold the whole piece.
I'm gonna go for a pipe chilling.
I'll be ready.
A chilling of the pipe.
You got a yoke over here for you now if you didn't see.
That's a good
And then,
call,
yeah, don't
Oliver.
worry if you don't get it in the plate.
That was all Michelle's idea.
It's snowing. All those cooking shows have paid off.
I don't even know if robin eggs are the right kind of eggs in this tree. I think we need some sort of like dragon egg.
Is it in the garage and made? What are you doing?
Just go underwater with it. Don't wait for it to go. There you go. Beautiful.
You're gonna take one more flash and then we'll do it?
So the trick about cooling the pipe is that it has to cool the pipe, but not cool so high up that it takes the heat out of the piece.
Okay.
We've got 20 minutes till we open. I'm working the floor tonight, so got lots of people out
This feels
on
like
sick
a haunted
leave, on
forest.
early vacations.
It does. I was
And
thinking the
it's
exact
holiday
same thing.
time here at the Glass Academy. So we want to be done at 4 o'clock so we can greet all our customers.
Huh?
I'm ready when you are.
We're gonna need a little moil love here when you get a chance, Oliver.
Matt's turning it. He's just following my hands.
Oliver's got a paddle because even though Chris has a glove on, that heat is definitely transferring through. You can see Matt's assisting there on the back end of the pipe. And just a minute ago when Chris let go, the piece was so heavy, it started lifting off the bench. Like the back end came up.
All right. Hit that foot a little bit. Get here real quick.
Now the question is, can the glory hole
Withstand.
withstand the heat? Will it last to the end? Will the phone have enough battery charge, or were they listening to rap music too long today?
do we got,
and it
3
sucked
more
all
on
the
there?
Battery? We've got 18 minutes left. 3 layers of glass.
You're doing good with it? Doing good?
What annealer are you going in?
Number 4.
On the side? So the reason I asked what annealer, they're going into 4. Plenty height. There's no rack in there. Those are things you got to think about. I've seen it before when
You gotta get more heat on it for snow.
I've seen it before
Forgot
where
about that.
people make something
careful
and then
setting
it
it
doesn't
down like
fit
that.
in the glory hole.
You got it?
Matt. Want to swap with me? Give it a little marver, but
Come get this door then,
I'm
Jake.
using that same moil. Ready for it?
Yep. Oliver, you ready?
I'm ready.
Just a
Oh,
couple
looks
more
like
seconds.
Oliver has a cup of cheer. Hey!
Hey.
All right, you can always tell what part is hot by what's bright orange. Sprinkling the sugar on. It's not really sugar at all, but it's
Good.
white glass. So it will make it appear that there is snow. Abby's in the background setting up the TV, getting ready for classes
But we want
tonight.
to puff a little bit on that narrow spot
fluffy
where I'm
bit.
putting the next
You'll
bit.
be on Fluffy Poo?
Yeah.
Open.
So many
Yeah, I
things
know what you're
going
saying.
on.
I'll
The
do it.
tension is high. Can we pull it off? 3 more layers. Do we have enough glass blowers? Will the camera not go crazy? These are all the questions we ask ourselves during the live show. Will Chris's arms give out before the end of the show?
It's looking good.
Oliver's putting some heat on the
All right,
punny.
Matt,
There
whenever
should be
you're ready.
some orange or yellow
not
in
taking
there.
these that bit, I'm
There is
getting
not.
Off.
Jake,
Yep.
My hand.
I got this.
well, you guys, I don't know.
you got
I
it. I'm
can't
just
see you
kinda
talking
rolling
in the
with you, but
chat
I
because
got you.
this is
Feel it.
pre-recorded. But tell us what you think. Are you all like biting your nails?
You want to use that, Matt?
Wondering what the next step is?
Use that. Roll it up in there. Yeah. Let's get a little extra clear on top, just a tiny little bit, and then just put one schmack of color.
Matt's gonna cut that off and go gather some clear on top of it. Jake assisting
Hold on a
by
sec, I'll get the
turning
doors, I'll
pipe,
take the heat
but
on it.
now he's got to get the door open. Oliver assisting by using the wooden paddle, keeping the heat away from Chris. Jake now muscling the
Okay,
piece
Oliver, we're
because
on,
it is very heavy.
Snow. You good?
Yeah. That looks good on the right.
And
Side
the
zero right on the
TV
right.
on the background is a much smaller
When you
tree
come out,
from
stay
a
on
previous
the
gathering point show.
Cut one a little bit longer in the flame.
Okay. Am I
Ready?
going to the snow or no?
Yes, you're going to the snow.
All right.
All right, you can see the color of the glory hole
Yeah, that's
changing.
it,
It's not as bright orange as when we started today. So it is telling you that it is cooling off.
Want to fluff it while we do it or no?
Yeah, go for it.
They're going to go for some snow. I think probably 2 more layers on this.
Looks good. Looks good, Oliver.
Chris is using the hotter
hang
torch
for a
on
second,
the punny.
fluffier.
Much better idea.
I think I can go even hotter.
Because even though it's thick,
Stop
it is not
right
showing any
there.
color.
Well, I think 2 more.
It needs to have some color.
Yeah, 2 more. Do the topper from the outside of the bench for sure. Oliver, would you grab the doors?
Yes.
All right, now we got some color in that punny. Feeling a little better about that. Doors were
Grab
shut
the little
in
one to
between
close
the
it.
piece.
Oh, you were opening
Maintain
it.
the
that
heat.
roof
That's all it
Rip
goes. That's
hot,
fine.
hot as you can get it right
Okay,
now.
close that one up though.
Not necessarily
With the
deep,
little
but
one.
just hot. Kind of stay out as far as you can.
Thank you. You talking to me?
No, I was talking to
right.
Matt with the bit.
Oh yeah. She's looking good.
Okay, Jake's gonna stay on the pipe.
Oh
that
my
gives
God,
Chris
that
time
jewel.
to look at
Matt,
it
Let's
and
go.
trust that the pipe is
Bring it
gonna
in
stay
towards me.
on the bench.
Other side.
At this point, Jake is watching Chris's hands and allowing him to lead, and just keeping an eye for leverage and
I
balance.
think that's going to be enough for the last one, probably.
Yeah, whatever he's got left over there, sure.
Come back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a piece!
Merry
Needs
Christmas,
one
folks.
more
Does
at
your
the
Christmas
top.
tree look like this?
If you did, you live in some kind of enchanted forest. The doors.
Got it.
There's a little track
Close them up.
that the glory
I got a minute.
hole has that allows that yolk to move
going
back
right for
and
the
forth.
snow.
It's not stretched out enough
I think
yet.
all that extra weight of the gnarliness on the bottom is going to help with it.
For Jake to pull
Sitting
it back
really
as
nice.
much
Oh, yeah.
as needed, but Matt's
Just a
kicking
tiny
around
little
some
bit.
glass.
What's that on the left
It's
there? Is
calling
that
for
new
snow.
green? I think it is still new green, so it's fine.
Ready?
All right, let's go. Yep.
Pull the yoke all the way back with you. There you go.
You guys got the steps down by now, right?
Yep.
Snow,
Little torchy
added
poo.
section,
Little extra torch
flash
or
the
no?
punny,
Lovely.
keep the punty hot. These would be like stickers that only us would understand. Keep the punny hot.
Yeah. Oliver, I'll let you grab the doors again on this one.
One of these moves.
Yeah.
Dale Chihuly, he's here.
All right, I'll take one heat on it. You'll be ready on the next one?
And you're gonna sit down, and I'm gonna do it from the outside, Jake.
All right, that's cool.
I mean, I'm kind of.
Close her
I
up.
don't know. I think it might be easier for me to do it from out here, but maybe I don't know.
I think it would be easier.
From the outside.
Or if anything, I could spiral it on, and you just do it. I think it'd be easier from the outside.
I think so too. It's getting too tall.
All right.
We've
I
got
think
11 minutes before we
did
open.
this before.
Cars waiting outside.
Wow, it's easier.
Do you catch
All right,
that?
then.
The bench comes apart, so it allows them to manipulate the process any way they like. Because we've done
So,
so
Jake, how
many
you
of
feeling
these
about that,
trees, Chris knows exactly how he
nest?
wants to shape it,
Really good.
how he wants to use the tools, what
How are you
needs to
feeling?
happen.
Slow.
So even though this tree is big, he's still able to use the same components of a smaller tree.
Take another heat and do it again.
Yep.
So he's got that muscle memory. All right, Matt's back and couldn't be at a better time. Cracking
her up.
open those doors. They're keeping an eye on those
a lot of weight
punnies.
off the end of that punny, so make sure
Big
you
time.
be careful when you're doing that tossing, because it would snap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I'll be gentle with it.
Should we hit some snow on
Can't
it
even
now?
see the end of it. I'm just feeling it. No, I think cut it up one more time. It
All
sticks
right.
pretty good to the green. All right.
It's got 8 minutes. We're at 20% phone charge. Filming really takes a lot out of the camera,
Stop.
but I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah. It's leaning the perfect way and everything. I take one more heat on it and then
The
we'll
torch
we'll
allows
snow.
this
any
out a
of
little
those cut
bit.
marks
It's
to
a little
take
bit
away the
funky
sharp
looking.
edges.
Don't, yeah, careful with it. On the next one, next opportunity we need to get some fluffer on the 3 tips here on the bottom. So I'll take a nice deep heat after the or during the snow probably. Matt, if you want to bring that torch around.
All right, now it's time for the snow.
Oliver, would you close these up on me?
All right, this
Got
is
it.
where
Take
everyone's
it
got to
from
be
it.
like on top
got
of their game. Doors have
We're
to
gonna
be
go
closed
for the
behind,
snow.
and that
You wanna-
punny needs
Yep.
And then
some heat.
Matt's gonna hit the tips.
Bottom few tiers.
Yeah, no, well that too, I guess. I was just thinking of the triangle tip at the bottom.
Yeah, just hit them going this way, Matt. So that I'm saying like this, so it's hitting the tips on the bottom and the bottom branch, the edge too. You know. I think you're okay there. Just the residual angles like this, so it's coming up on the edge of the tree. There you go.
It's bonus heat. It's phantom heat.
Phantom heat.
It's pretty snowy.
All right, everyone's
like
got
that
a
top
part.
the way it is.
Matt's watching
I can't
the
even see it.
bottom, making sure none of those pieces are too cold. Chris is going to take over. Oliver's got the doors ready.
The wind blew it over.
Yeah.
All right, going in. We do have some iris in there for when the time's right.
Yeah.
All
Give a
right,
little love to that punny.
now they have to stabilize the heat a little bit. So they're going to do the punny on the bottom. Matt's going to do the fluffer torch on the side layers. Chris
Are we
has
putting a
really
pterodactyl
nice
nest
heat
up
on
there?
the piece right now, but they still
I don't
have
know
to
if it needs it.
stabilize it. all torches on. Right. Matt has to be aware that he's not blowing the torch in Chris's face. There's like so many subtle things
If we
you
want
don't
it
even
bending
realize.
towards this corner, right? That's the.
I mean, it's just doing it right. It's just perfect right now. The undulation's great. Another beat.
The torch cord's funny too. It's
Remember
like
the-
carrying a microphone.
We got the.
Reduction when we're on the last flash, we can't forget.
What do you think? 2 more flashes?
So while we make the nest, you just want to throw this guy in the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you still doing all that?
No.
Good.
You hit him with the fluffy one more time on the
Open.
punny, and I'll get the gloves going.
You can see it's a dull orange in there. So the glory hole's cooling off quite a bit. Matt's gonna come in with his
What
flame.
a GA stamp on that thing.
That's right.
What? And at the last moment, the GA stamp was remembered.
All right, I'm bringing it.
You know what could have been super cool, man?
I don't.
Put that pink down for the jewel, GA stamp that, and put the white behind that.
Behind the stamp?
Yeah, had the GA encapsulated in the jewel.
Oh, dude. The magnified GA.
I got it, Matt.
Jake, you want to hit the reduction? Or you can do
What?
it.
Too late. Reduction.
Let me get those gloves, Matt. Thanks.
No reduction happening yet. No reduction yet. There you go. Open.
You gonna give it a little torchy poo?
Oh, it's good.
Once we knock it off?
Plenty hot. Just want to make sure it's on center.
It is plenty hot.
It's on center.
Dude, that is straight out of the dark crystal.
Yeah, it is. The mystery crystal.
It's totally grown over, a little bit of snow on it.
If Jim Henson were alive, he'd be buying this.
He'd be proud.
Thank you for saying that. I've been thinking Dark Crystal was Jim Henson this whole show, and I just wasn't confident enough to say it.
Oh, they mentioned it earlier. They're all on board. It's all good.
Let's do it.
No more flashes.
I think we're good.
Yep.
We're just gonna go on the right side of 4 and call it a day for 4.
You got
Yes.
it?
Woo, they're not flashing it, so Jake's already...
I'm gonna
Spin.
grab it like this.
I don't know. Both hands underneath it?
Nah, it was
You're going to
too
have it
slippery.
upside down then if you do it
Yeah.
that way.
I'm gonna
You
take it
got
like
it.
this, and I'm gonna hold it like that, and then flip it. But see, you're gonna torch it, right?
No, we'll grind it. We're not
Oh.
touching anything.
There you go. It's like a baby. It's got to carry it away. There it
Oh,
goes.
perfect.
Sure did.
Both doors. You need it. Nice. Push it all the way in if you just from the bottom. There you go. It's sitting pretty sturdy.
It's set perfect. Great job, guys.
Wow.
All right, Matt. Ow!
That was tight, dude. That was tight.
All right, Matt. It's your turn now. Make one exactly like that so we have a set.
A set.
Well, looks like we got a little bit of cleanup to do, folks. But that's what happens when you make a crazy piece like that. Super cool. Super
Now we get
awesome.
to make a tree this big for the giveaway.
We got to open. It's 4 o'clock. And
Said,
So you're saying we're going to pick something from the gallery that's for the giveaway. Did you tell them
Nice.
a question to answer?
we're all set.
Okay,
They just
we
said
are
it.
all set, and we do have, and next week we'll give away that piece. We got 2 giveaways next week. The Space Diamonds Rocks Glass from the previous week. Everybody who just joined us, we're not we are in a hurry, but I do want to say that we are the gathering point. We do it every single week. Not that intense, not that crazy. That's a special holiday treat. Hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. We're all relaxing today, taking the day off, and
It's going to be the new year when we see him again,
no,
right?
Nope, there's one more.
there's one more before the new year, but we've got great new things coming up, and you guys better just stay tuned. If you're just finding us now, subscribe on all our channels, YouTube and Facebook, and check out our shop. Shop local, shop small. We're out of Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah.
Anything else? I hit everything?
I'll talk to you guys next year.
All right.
Gonna run the credits. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Bam, bam.